Hey everyone, thanks for clicking. Today I'm going to be talking about your first bathroom renovation. So we're going to be talking about what it looks like, the planning process, how you can go about it. Now, this is my first time doing this and I hope you'll bear with me, but I'm sure you're going to find value in what we're going to be talking about today. Alright, so your first bathroom renovation, it's going to be rather difficult the first time. If it's purely cosmetic, you may not be able to lodge it. You may not be required to lodge an application with your local council for that. So in Australia, we have local councils. They are our municipality bodies, and they govern the building rules and regulations within that particular area on behalf of the state as a whole. So if you're living in Melbourne, you'll have the Melbourne Council, and they will be looking after that for you. So you're going to have to get a basic plan drafted up. So what's your new bathroom going to look like from the bird's eye view? You're going to have to get a hold of a draftsperson or an architect to go through this. It will cost typically around $1,000 just to get a basic plan. You might be able to get it for cheaper if it's your first time doing this, if you beg and smile. These plans will help you communicate your vision to tradespeople. That's what this plan is for. You're going to want to keep a copy of these plans in case a council inspector is sent around with no notice. They can do that. Just knock on your door and ask to come in and take a look at what you're doing. I've heard of some of this happening to some people before, and you don't want to be left out with your pants down. So you've got to make sure that if you are doing this renovation and it's purely cosmetic, that you have these plans to communicate to your tradespeople. Now, you've got to be careful about the tradespeople that you hire. Of course, everyone's got an infinite amount of stories about things going sideways, vertical and horizontal, but what you want to go is forward. That's your ideal goal, is to move forward with this bathroom renovation. And without these plans, you're going to have a difficult time communicating exactly what you want from this tradesperson. You're going to need an electrician. Obviously, if you're doing a renovation, you're probably going to want to spruce up your lighting. You're going to need to consult with an electrician to install your new lighting. That will help plan with you and go through where the wiring needs to go, where the new ports need to go. If you want a USB charger in your bathroom, if you want an Ethernet cable in your bathroom, if you want your Foxtel hooked up in your bathroom, all of that stuff they're going to need to take care of for you. Now, for your lighting ideas and designs, you could take a visit to your local bathroom center, your local bathroom design place. Also, kitchen places usually have a small area for bathroom sinks and lighting. You could take a look in Bunnings. They have a pretty big light range. Pinterest, if you have a social media account on Pinterest, that is also a good way to go about getting some ideas. The most important thing you got to remember is with lighting, it's usually the last to go in. It can be the first, but it can be the last. It really, really depends on whether you're putting lighting specifically in the ceiling or if you're doing anything extra on the walls. But usually it'll need to go on before the paint. So if you are getting into the lighting, don't stress about it too much. You can wait for the look and feel of the tiles and the new kitchen sink if you want. The new bathroom sink if you want. Now, obviously, getting a tiler, getting someone who's good and reliable, they're going to want to look at the plan and get some leveling. They might even rip off the tiles and take a level and do their measurements to see how much cement they're going to have to lay before they retile. They might leave it for a day, they might leave it for 2 days. It really depends on how busy they are. Tilers do get very busy, and choosing the right tiles is probably going to be the make it or break it for the aesthetic of your bathroom. So you've got to make sure that you pay a lot of attention and work with your tilers. These people work very hard. So when you're talking to them and communicating to them, it's really important that you tell them exactly what you want, because these people work very hard and they're not going to be able to, for lack of a better word, read your mind about this. So if they don't do it the way you like, and you tell them just as they've finished, it's going to be a tough bicky situation where they're going to tell you, all right, we'll come back, but you're going to have to pay us again. Look, tiling's a hard job, and it's not exactly fair for them if there's a communication issue. These are your plans, and it's really your job to communicate that. So you've really got to toe the line. They'll do the work. Just tell them what you want them to do. Now you're going to need a plumber to install the obviously the plumbing for the sink, and if it's required, reinstall the drainage for the bathroom, and of course the shower. Now, if you have purchased a new sink already, it might be a bit easier to choose matching tiles or lighting to suit your aesthetic. Some people do the tiles first, some people do the lighting first. It really depends. At this stage, when your kitchen sink is being installed, you might want to look at the aesthetic between the tap and the porcelain sink. Maybe take a look at some paint, maybe a fresh paint on the wall will do the renovation really good. It's entirely up to you. But what you've got to really think about here is you want something that's going to fit with the rest of the house. So if you go vintage brass on your bathroom sink, but your shower is something completely different, and then your kitchen is a modern outfit, but when you go to sell, it's going to look a bit weird, and you're going to have to do the bathroom again before you get any real interest. So as this is your first bathroom renovation, make sure you take your time researching and planning. Don't just listen to what I have to say. For intents and purposes, I'm just a random guy on the internet. I'm just blue gum. But don't be afraid to look on Pinterest. Again, I swear by Pinterest. It's got some fantastic bathroom design ideas. And remember, if the renovation is substantial, you are going to need council approval. There's no two ways about it. You don't want to be stuck with your pants around your ankles and the council inspector walking through your house and cracking the shits with you because you didn't do the right thing. Now, that can be very expensive for you. They'll kick the tradespeople out. They'll close the door, tape up the door, and tell you not to go in there until you have approval. So you've got to be really careful about the way you do things. Again, each state is different. If you're in Queensland, there's going to be different rules. If you're in New South Wales, different rules. If you're in Melbourne, different rules. If you know, you've really got to do your research on this, but I would speak to a building inspector, one of the private certifiers. Those people are really good with the rules and regulations, so I would speak to them before doing anything further. But as always, do your research. Hey everyone,